Okay, I want to show you guys a quick tip that is very important. So it has to do with item breakpoints, and a lot of people know about item breakpoints already, but there's an extra tip I want to explain to you today. So if you have, let's say, a sacred item, and you are trying to upgrade the sacred item. For instance, we have this 607 item power item. Now, if you upgrade it, you're going to get a bonus of stats, right? The stats aren't going to be too much. You can see 11 damage per second, 1%, 1%, 1%, 1.75, okay? And as we upgrade this, it's going to continue to go up a small amount of power until we get to the point here where this is what they call the breakpoint, which is at 425, 525, 625, and 725, there's going to be a breakpoint in stats. So what does a breakpoint in stats mean? It means it actually re-rolls where you are within those core properties. For instance, if you have a minimum row, you could roll to a maximum row, but it also increases the ceiling of the stats as well. For instance, if you look at the core scale, damage is 9.8 here, and we're going to 14.3. This is going to go to 12.6 to 19.6, so it also increases the floor as well as the ceiling of these rows. And if you want to know how exactly I am seeing this, you can go to the gameplay and you can turn on your advanced tooltips, etc. So it does more than just, let's say if we had a different weapon here and we're upgrading the stats, it does more than just this, where it goes from 4.5 to 9.8 to 4.9 to 10.5. That's a smaller upgrade. The bigger upgrade when you break one of these breakpoints, which this one will put us above 625 total item power level, it is a bigger upgrade, and you can see 9.8 there, 14.3 to 12.6. So at those points, it gets quite larger, and we'll complete that just so you can see that item get completed there, and you can see the stats go up with there as well. However, there is one other upgrade that is quite important, that is even more important. When you upgrade an item past the 725 that is sacred, it gives it an absolute massive upgrade instead of just a minor upgrade in the floor and the ceiling. For instance, look at this one here. It is 39.2% vulnerable damage. The roll of the vulnerable in the secondary stats is 37.8. That's 32 to 46.2. And you can go down the stats, see damage to poison enemies rolled minimum at 14% to 28. 56 to all stats, which is sort of a mid-row there between them, and 44.8 of the damage to close enemies, which is a near maximum. But if we look at what it's going to go to after we upgrade it, take a look at this. It gains 20% vulnerable damage. It gains 26.7% vulnerable damage. It gains 14% vulnerable damage. And this is the important one. The all stats goes to the minimum row because it both upgrades the floor and the ceiling as well as reroll where it is in that floor and the ceiling and stats. But when you go from 7 whatever to 725 and you break past that 725, this pushes it into an entire new bracket of stats, right up there with ancestral gear. So this is basically how I'm able to get ancestral level power of gear while still at level 53 and in world tier 3. So when season 1 comes and you get yourself an item that is 700 plus item power, you can get it to do these absolute massive jumps in stats. And you can see that across the board. I mean, we're going to be gaining a total just between the first two lines there, 48%, basically, or was that 47.5%, I should say, percentage of vulnerability damage alone on there. And let's just go ahead and upgrade that. So this is what it looks like right now. You can see the item. And now we're going to go ahead and upgrade that item. And now take a look at that item. The item is significantly stronger. So just something to consider. Look out for 700 plus item power items within sacred gear, as those are going to give you a much larger upgrade than any other of your items. And real quick, you might be wondering for yourself, okay, well, does 825 have the same massive upgrade? If you look at it, no, it does not. You can see right there, it is a small level of upgrade. We can upgrade that piece of gear. Again, we can get another small level of upgrade. We can upgrade this again and get another small level of upgrade. Again, another small level of upgrade. And then there's another small level of upgrade all the way there if we wanted to go to 845. So just keep that in mind. 725 is the real big peak.